Hey guys, and what's going on? Rounded Tic Tac here, and if I look exhausted, it's because I am. Let me get this out of the way. We're going to talk a little bit. I'm going to show you the build, and then we're going to do gameplay. Timestamps are available for you. Who's the idiot who told you about Devastator being good in the end game? This guy. But to be fair, I did not know how bad they were going to nerf AP builds for full release. Even the sponsored video that MTash had that I made a video about, that latest build had the updated or the older kits in it. So the 150% bleed damage, that's gone. The golem skin effect, that's gone. Well, a certain mod. There's a lot of things in the game that did change on full release. And since Devastator's the only one in the game without a bullet buff ability, he did struggle. The reason is because Devastator can do endgame stuff. As I'm going to show you, we solo cleared Chem plant on gold as a Devastator. I'm going to try to show you that. I have done it before, but I haven't narrated it. We'll see if I can do it. But he actually needs a set and gear pieces and certain things for it to make it work. I personally believe that the devs didn't think that the bullet builds would have been so readily available that people would be able to break the game so incredibly fast with those builds. The reason they are so meta, other builds do work, is because you really don't need anything for them to work. They're going to hit hard almost regardless. Just get yourself a good gun, get yourself some sort of ammo regen, and you are good to go. I, on the other hand, or you perhaps if you're watching this video and like the Devastator, because in my opinion he's the most fun class in the game, are going to struggle. Eye of the Storm at the moment for 99% of the population in the game is not available to a Devastator. You're not going to be wanted, and even me, somebody who's had access and can keep up with most of the DPS that I've seen so far, gets kicked out of parties consistently. It's been 5 times since I've been kicked out of random groups after a game has been over and my DPS was lower than theirs as a Devastator. It is what it is. But like I said, I'm working on it. I'm stubborn and I want to make this work. So I'm going to show you exactly what I'm running, what you could get. This isn't going to be a full build breakdown. We're going to talk about that more in another video, but I'm going to show you my mods. You can put together the math, and let's jump into Chem Plant. But before we get into it, if you guys like this content and you're a Devastator main, I'm going to cover other stuff. I just really wanted to get this done. Think about subscribing. It really does help out the channel. It really, really does. Give it a like so the world can see Devastator is on par. And lastly, if you guys want to check me out on Twitch, I stream 4 days a week over at twitch.tv/roundedtiktak. We would love to see you, for real, and we have a good time. All right, with that out of the way, let's get into it. So, first up, we have Earthquake, Impale, and Gravity Leap. This is our big damage ability, this is our AoE clear ability, and this is our oh crap, we need to get the hell out of here ability. That is what we're using. We have 2 uses on this, we have 2 uses on this. I am looking for the mod that makes this 3 uses, and this should become a lot easier. It almost triples our damage if we can get that mod. It just has not dropped for us. The second thing to go over are the 2 weapons I am currently using. I am using an Air of the Desert with Sandstorm and Death Change. This I use for tankier targets. I switch to a weapon if I'm like running back to them or something along those lines. I hit them with 1 bullet. Doesn't not matter where it lands, and they take about 500,000 damage. It does help me kill the captains because that's where Devastator lacks the most, is single target damage. Then we have our Thunderbird with Ultimate Storm Whip, again for single target damage. And we have Fortress. Fortress comes on Death Shield, and it gives us a 43% bonus damage to everything. Our bleed, our dot, our abilities, our gun, everything based on our armor. And I'll show you the skill tree in just a second. We are using Fighter's Mask. I replaced this with this mask in group play for the extra damage because I don't need the extra survivability. But here, Life of the Party does come in handy during clutch moments, especially with the beasts. Here we have Seismic Commander Armor with Palisade, allows us to impale more targets, 25% extra damage to bleeding targets with the leg piece. I do have the gloves, but I'm not going to use them because they're bad. We have Crown Crush and Earth Legacy on our gloves. And lastly, we have Sharpen Spike and Extra Quake on our boots. Our skill tree looks like this. We go all the way down here. We do not take the bleed duration. As I said in my last video, you don't need it because you can apply bleed fast enough with your double earthquakes. The 2 most important skills in here are actually these two: protected by the anomaly, which gives us more armor, and this one, increase your armor by 7% for each enemy in close range, which allows our death or our fortress mod on our gun to really stack up and do some incredible damage. So like I said, we're going to do Chem Plant. It is considered one of the easier ones. Not necessarily easier, it's just more lenient on the time, allowing you to get gold. We're going to set it to 50, and here we go. I've done it once. I've cleared it. It wasn't too bad. The last time I did it, somebody joined my game, so I had to scrap the recording. In fact, let me turn the game on private. Here we go. Friends only. And I hit it like that, and here we go. So as this door opens, we're going to hit this sniper up here. Part of this is learning the map spawns. You kind of need to know where the enemies are, where the red canisters are. I've never, ever, in all of my years of gaming, have seen red canisters as so deadly as these. So we just hit him a couple of times, he bleeds out, and that's fine. Since our only sustain comes from bleed dot damage, as we had in the tree, we try our absolute best to hit as many targets as we can with a bleed, so we can keep our sustain up at all times. I just want to finish off these riflemen so I don't have to double back for them. Again, since you have to stack your abilities, you have to kind of burn them all in one use because of there's no internal cooldown. There's only a cooldown when it goes off. It's best to just use your abilities ASAP and just kind of do as much damage as you possibly can. Another thing you're going to run into is the different RNG of the captains. If they have frost bullets or phoenix or something along those lines, the run definitely becomes harder really fast. You can see our gun damage is pretty bad. Our bleed damage is working. Put that dot on them and just kind of finish them off with that. Then we know they're going to jump down here. We're going to hit the canister and then impale once. Should be enough, but the impale didn't hit that breacher, so is what it is. Just got to keep moving. 2 earthquakes will kill all the small guys and almost kill breachers, which is fantastic. This is my least favorite part in the entire game, or in the entire run, right here. The reason is because no matter what you do, no matter what path you take, riflemen will always come back to the start and shoot you from behind. That is the biggest killer for Devastator, because they're too far to bleed and you can't sustain off of them, and it just becomes a freaking hassle. I absolutely hate this part, and I lose a lot on it. All right, so we have ice orbs. This isn't the best, but it's not the worst. At least it's not Phoenix. The captain took a trip downstairs. That sucks, but we're just actually going to forget about him, and we're going to move on to this one. Hit him with our dot while we're moving in. Now we can hit all 3 captains with our earthquake, which is fantastic. Ironclad's down. I didn't see what that was. Hopefully it wasn't Phoenix or From the Ashes or whatever it's called. We're gonna finish them off. Don't be afraid to use your gravity. It was. Ah, damn it. Don't be afraid to use your gravity leap offensively sometimes if you know you're good to go. Such a pain in the butt. Should be able to finish him off here though. Jesus. All right. That isn't the best start to this. It took us an extra 30 seconds up here, which it normally doesn't. We'd normally be done and onto this pack already. Damn red barrels. Now for this part, we want to do our best to have our double earthquake up when that door opens. So we're going to try not to use it and burn our impale spikes early. And then we have these riflemen that absolutely screw me up. Because when this door opens, you want to try to kill them as fast as possible. This is ideal situations for a Devastator. Everything in here has bleed. Try to take out as many targets as you can so your impale kills or, you know, maims a lot of these guys, which allows you to move on. Take a little cover here. Re-earthquake them. I don't even know what just hit me. That bleed is so nasty. I love doing it. You don't necessarily need it. You really don't. But man, is that fun to do. And just watch their health go. I don't know where this captain ran off to. I guess that's the guy who shot me in the back. which sucks. And as you can see, there's 2 riflemen all the way in the back. Just not fun. Right, he's dead. All right. This adds an extra like 15 seconds. Such a pain in the butt. This next room is probably the hardest room in the entire facility. The amount of captains in here, and depending on what they can do, it gets real hairy. Really, really, really hairy sometimes. What I like to do is come down and just drop my bleed on them. And by the time I make it to the room I actually want to be in, I'll be healing from the bleed dot damage and get ready for this next spawn in here. Get our health back up. I missed the spawn, which sucked. Just part of the RNG, I guess. These guys killed. Again, positioning and hitting as many enemies as humanly possible is the key to the success here. I like hanging out in this room. Usually, more enemies actually come chase you into there. They didn't this time, but it's all right. And you can hit a ton with your bleed. I'm going to try to stop his cast, finish him off. Again, as many enemies as possible. Sorry I'm not talking the entire time. This isn't easy. It's not like this is a walk in the park. Positioning matters, where you use your abilities matter. A lot of things matter on the Devastator. Because if you don't position right and you don't hit the targets, then you're not sustaining. A bunch of things could actually happen here. I should be able to finish him off right here. Got it. This next room opens. You got to be super quick. Something just happened IRL, so I had to kind of AFK and play. Sorry I wasn't talking for the last couple of seconds. Finish off that guy, and this should be the last dude. Maybe one more room. This is going to be a big tip. Everybody I've randomly matchmake with in this chem plant doesn't know this. You hit this button, you call the elevator, you go to the cutscene. This enemy pack that spawns right here in this frosted room is going to be where you need to kill them. Once you kill these enemies, you wait about 3 seconds and the door opens. So we just want to come back here, use everything we got, kill this last dude, this bubble, finish him off. Oh, okay, body blocked. Cool. I know, I'll take care of it. Sorry guys, there's something's happening IRL. All right, and then the door opens. Like I said, you don't have to finish off the 16 captains in there, and you can go down and save yourself a nice minute. You come down here. This is the literal grand opening for Devastator. This is probably one of the coolest things in the game. Come in here, earthquake, just spike them all up. All right. Come down here, and we are at the last part. Usually, if you make it past that captain room, you're good to go. Again, knowing where the enemies are going to spawn from is helpful. So I know they go this room and then the next room where the big dog comes from. Just learning that kind of stuff. You can see me trying to position here. It's kind of hard because he's stuck into a wall. But we need to hit every enemy possible. Our fighter's mask comes in super handy for the beasts because all the little bleeders that come and try to put bleed dot damage on you, you negate a ton of that damage. It is really helpful. We kill this one, and then we know we're coming over here. We're gonna hit him with our dot damage gun. This is probably the hardest room, just because you can get one shot from a double jump from one of the alphas and the beast at the same time. So you do need to be a little bit careful here. All right, we killed some of the alphas. Back on the big boy. Bleed him out a little bit. And with our dot damage. Don't be afraid to run around and heal off the little guys. So now we're back to full health. And this guy is ours. Another small tip with the Devastator, do your absolute best to not kill anything that is going to spawn something with an impale or to finish the game, because your impale, for some reason, they are still counted as alive on the impale spike. So you have an issue of slowing down the clock for you and your team if you do it like that. So just be careful not to do it like that. Should be good. I like to go in here again, kind of tunneling them in, allowing us to finish off everybody at the same time. As a Devastator, you do have pretty incredible AoE compared to some other classes that may be popular. Or they technically all have really good AoE, but none of them are spec'd into it. This last guy here, we've got about 2 minutes on the clock. Finish him off. And this is the last part right here. Just get ready for it. As we start the fight, we're going to use our dot damage gun. It doesn't work right away, as you can see. Then we're going to push into the room. The only reason we want to get out of this room, because we want all the little enemies to come towards us, is if he puts down his blue damage over time ability. Like that. Then we jump out of the room. And we do the exact same thing, except the other direction. All right, big guy's down. We got one acid spitter left. And that's it, boys and girls. We did it. Challenge tier 15 Devastator solo. 74,000 drop pod resources with a 25% chance on our loot. Let's see if we get what we need. We need the boots or the helmet. Boots or helmet is what we're looking for the set piece. And let's see what we get. Well, that's one way to end a video. We're doing our best to make it work. It's not going to be as fast as other classes, but our damage is definitely respectable at 175 million. Our Earthquake did 87 million of that. So once I get that extra mod, it'll bump up our damage to over 100 million easy. Learn the spawns, where they come from. You can get yourself a damage over time weapon, or you can look for that Fortress mod where you get bonus damage per your armor. Probably the best gun in the game for a Devastator. that's really it, guys. That is the build, the guide, and the gameplay. I will see you guys on the next one. Thank you so much for watching. It is doable. Let the world know. Tic Tac